Welcome back to Creative Process. Today, this is episode 6, and we have a outstanding guest on today. His name is Fabian. You guys will get to know him in a little bit here, but obviously if you're on the stream or on YouTube or you're watching this, you can see his face in the overlay and on the stream right now, so you guys will hear from him shortly. But I just want to say thank you for coming out and listening to Creative Process. I know it's been a little bit since I released an episode 5 last time with Hayden. Went really well, so if you did miss episode 5, go back and watch or listen to episode 5 either on YouTube and Spotify for the listeners. So anyways, let's get into episode 6 today. We have an awesome episode planned, something we haven't really talked about yet. We haven't really talked about branding and stuff like that, and Fabian works at branding, so more, what am I trying to say? The most well fit, or the best fit of a guest for this topic, in my opinion. So, Fabian, how are you doing today? I know we were talking a little bit pre-podcast just to kind of get to know one another because we're finally face to face here. But how are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Big words to live up to, but I'll try to manage. Yeah, no, we've known each other for quite a long time now, so it's good to speak more direct.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, with the people that I've done this, there's only been one, which was Kieran. He was episode 2, I think, that I've talked to like face to face before, but we've all connected on social media before, and we've just never been able to talk face to face. But yeah, it's awesome. That's one of the main reasons I decided to start doing this, but also like getting to know other designers and their ins and outs and everything as well. That's always a good thing. So let's start off with you introducing yourself. Tell the people what you're about, where you're from, what you're interested in, whatever you want to do. Kind of give the people an introduction, and then we'll kick off from there.
Yeah, so, well, I'm Fabian from Malmö in Sweden, and basically what I do, pretty much the only thing I do is logos and branding, as we passed on earlier. And I started with that like around 7-8 years ago. I got into mascot logo designs from esports, which I guess many of you are familiar with. And then from those kind of esports mascot logos, it moved into just general more corporate or company logos and identity, and I've just been stuck ever since. Yeah, and I've tried to build a little audience on Twitter, trying to connect with other people. So yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at.
So I'm gonna ask this right off the bat: is football big in Sweden? Very big? Okay. Because I know...
I think it's like the biggest in everywhere except for the USA, right?
That's true. Yeah, that's very true. But I know the domestic league in Sweden isn't that big. So are there a lot of international supporters in Sweden? Like, is that the majority, or are like the domestic league pretty cool?
No, the domestic league is pretty cool. It's we're pretty shit, but we have... It's still a lot of people going to the games and stuff, so that's cool.
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah, because like I know, I mean, obviously you got like Zlatan and Emil Forsberg, Isak. You have all those.
Oh damn.
All those, and Henrik Larsson too. For Christ's sake, can't forget Henrik Larsson. Like, you've had great footballers. I just didn't know what kind of football culture you may have out there. But that's been a consistent topic, at least in the first 5 episodes we've talked about, so I had to touch on it right away because I haven't talked to a person from Sweden ever, I think, so I had to get that question out there.
Yeah, no, we have one good team, and that's the team from my hometown, Malmö, which is it's the only good team. So.
That's the one. Didn't Holland play for Malmö?
He did not. But Zlatan did.
Oh no, Molde, that's what he played for. Yeah. Zlatan played for Malmö. Is that his hometown? Is Malmö his hometown?
It is.
Oh, that's awesome. You guys probably have like shrines and shit all over the city for him, don't you?
Pretty much.
Okay, so let's get into it. Obviously, we're messaging on Twitter back and forth, obviously, to get some things rolling. Kind of telling you what I wanted to go on about. But basically, you said you're mainly into branding and logo design. This podcast is called Creative Process for a reason, basically to state and to go into depth on how designers weave in and out of projects, whether it be the easy ones or the hard ones, or with big clients, small clients, whatever it is. As designers, the process is probably where we spend most of our time, especially in branding. That's where you spend most of your time, thinking and ideating and sketching and dealing with the client and, you know, that type of stuff. So I'm going to jump right into this. Usually we ask this towards the end of the podcast, but with your branding experience, what is your process, whether it's consistent or inconsistent? What do you do to start from start to finish in a project?
Yeah, well, it's very different, and it kind of differs, or it has changed a lot throughout the years. You know, sometimes, or I'm a fan of like making a lot of logos directly in Illustrator, and just making shapes and doing stuff and duplicating and removing until something doesn't look terrible anymore. And sometimes it works, most of the time it doesn't, but that's kind of how I like to work, just whipping out a lot of different stuff in shapes and whatnot. I do have a sketch or a paper where I sketch, but I feel like I rarely kind of, it's good for like basic concepts that you have in your head. I feel like most of my work is just done on the computer by doing like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of drafts of the same thing. But obviously something that I always do is that I always like look up a lot of inspiration on Pinterest, on Dribbble mostly for logos, and I kind of take ideas from different logos. I have like 5, 10, 15 different logos that I really like. They don't have to be the same at all. It could be in completely different areas as well. But just something so I can like steal from a lot of different designs, or just, you know, it doesn't even have to be logos. It can be other designs or films or whatever. And then it's just about to like kind of connect those different things into one unique thing by doing a lot of trial and error. So yeah, I think it's very different, and sometimes it can take literally like minutes or just an hour to make something really cool, and sometimes it can take weeks. So some of like my best work and some of the things that have gone super big on Twitter took literally like 3 minutes to make, and then some of the things that I spent like months on just completely flopped and nobody ever talked about it. So yeah, I think it's just about like doing a lot of stuff, and yeah, like 99% of what I do it's terrible. I'd never show it to anyone, but that 1% isn't that bad then. So yeah, that's what I rely on.
So like when it comes to branding and everything, most people, or the people that I went to school with and my professors, that's when I would hear this, they were like, it's a cardinal sin if you don't sketch before you go. And I'm like, you know what, like I understand that there's like sketching is a good thing. It like to get, like you said, to get ideas out, to kind of, you know, write down, get the things that are initially in your head out on paper, so you know you have them, so you don't forget about them, or whatever you use sketching for. But you know, sometimes like going right to digital, like you said, is almost the same way. Like you get to the end product, you know, especially if you have a good idea in your head, you're like, shit, let's try this right away, let's see if this is gonna work. And if you're confident in that idea, I feel like going to digital right away, sometimes it's like you have more confidence, your ability to make it work heightens, because you're like, I have this idea, let's go at it right away. Because like for me, if I try to draw an idea that I have, like sketch out an idea, I suck at, you know, drawing my idea. I'd much rather work with structured shapes in Illustrator or digitally to construct my idea, like rather than draw it out for some reason. That's just, I work very similar to how you work when it comes to logo design, so I can connect with what your process is.
Yeah, and there's no right way. I mean, there's just a way for yourself that you know works best for yourself. Like I've grown up with a computer, so I feel like I can navigate that, and especially through Illustrator a lot quicker than sometimes on paper. So it's just easier to get the shapes rolling and blending everything together.
Mm-hmm. So for you, you have on your Twitter, which by the way, everyone will be linked down below, so you can connect with Fabian on Twitter. In your bio, you have a small list of your clients in there. I see you have Red Bull, you have KFC, and you have, looks like Ronaldinho is even in there. That's awesome. Does your process change with those bigger clients? I guess, what was, if you want to single out a specific client, or if you kind of want to broaden it and keep it over one on like an underarching, you know, thing. What was your process like with those bigger clients? Because mainly the work that at least I've seen, at least I would think, maybe I'm jumping ahead, but the work that's like that, like you post consistently on your Twitter, looks like personally driven work. So how does working with those bigger clients change your process?
Well, for me, I try to not change it that much. The only different thing is that I send a lot more drafts to them. I kind of have to remake a lot of stuff. But I try to send as much things as possible. And I tell every client before that you probably won't like a lot of what you see, and I probably won't like it either. But it will take time. It can take time, and probably will take time. But after a while, we will find something that will work for both of us. But that's kind of the same with those bigger projects as well. That it can be like months of just sending different versions to the client, and it's a lot more of kind of persuading the client of why some things work and some things doesn't. Because at the end of the day, you're kind of the expert, at least when it comes to branding and logo design. So yeah, I try not to change it much. Because when I do personal work, I work the same way, just that it doesn't take months. Obviously, it just takes a day. I try to make something every day with those logo designs on Twitter. But yeah, so I guess it just takes more time. But it depends really on the clients. I have like a few clients who they just love what you do like within the first week. So yeah, it's different.
I just had a thought in my head. I was gonna go off something. Like what you said about doing something every single day. What's your view on that? Like what's your Geez, I am just drawing blanks today.
It's Friday. So.
It is Friday. You're right. Doing your working on your craft every single day. What's your view on that? Let's just simplify the question.
I don't think it's necessary. I don't work with logo designs every day. Far from it. Sometimes I can take many days off, and sometimes I just don't feel like it, and maybe I'll create something else. Maybe I take some photographs or do some videos or just do other designs or nothing at all. Sometimes I just don't go on my computer, and I feel like that's good, at least for me. Because when I do push myself too much, I kind of feel I kind of have to take longer breaks than what I tend to. So yeah, you don't have to create every day. Definitely don't have to. Yeah, I guess not.
See, like I'm gonna play a little bit of devil's advocate here, because I'm more on the point of view as like I attempt to be in Photoshop or in Illustrator or in designing at least 30 minutes to an hour every single day, just because I know, like, I guess personally designing, not just client work or contracted work or whatever you want to say it is, salaried work, whatever, or like employed work. I try to design personally every single day at least 30 minutes, because I think it gets those creative juices staying and like going, and like it makes you want to take risks, rather like whether or not you post it or not. It makes you want to take risks. It make you open about your decision making and everything. Because I think structured work and like client work and everything, you can only go so far with creativity when it comes to that. Like when you design personal work, you're like, let me try this, let me try that. Like you can literally make a whole project of things you've never done before, and it's just like, you know, why not? I do get it where, you know, you're on your computer too much and you get burnt out really fast, and then all of a sudden it's like boom, creative block for like 3 days and you can't do anything because you just can't think of anything. We talked about burnout in the episode with Kieran. That was a big topic we talked about because that's happened with him, and it even happened with both of us when we were working together on in a studio, trying to run a studio, and we both just hit it at the same time. We hit creative block so hard, and it was just like, so I get both sides of it, I really do. But I also think there's like a what am I trying to say? There's like a time management essence of it as well, you know?
Yeah. Well, I think it's for me. I'm like throughout the years, I'm getting better on working more consistently, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Because I kind of allow myself that I don't have to create every day, or at least, you know, not like 8 hours every day or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of, at least for me, it's like kind of good to know that if I'm not feeling it today, I know that I'll do it tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of more like, it truly is a passion for me, design right now, which it definitely didn't feel like a few years ago or when I first started out. So yeah, I don't know. For me, it feels like it's heading to the right direction, and yeah, I guess you have to try it for yourself, and don't like panic if you don't feel creative every day. Because, I mean, nobody does. Nobody feels creative all the time. So
yeah. So to stay on the consistent topic of branding, I know you worked with. Did you start? I don't know how to pronounce this. Is it pronounced anything or anyfin? I don't know how to pronounce it. Anyfin? Okay. So basically, Anyfin was like a pre-made logo service, right? That's what it was. Or is. I don't know if it's still running.
Yeah.
Is it still
running? It's still running. I'm just not a part of it anymore.
Okay. But you started it, right? You founded it. What basically, because you had to have seen a problem and was like, hey, let me make something to solve that problem. So kind of run the people through basically what Anyfin is, and then I want to get into like a business conversation about that, if that's okay.
It's okay.
Because I know some people don't like to talk about like when it comes to business and everything. Some people aren't super comfortable talking about that side of things, but okay, awesome. I'm all for it.
Yeah, well, Anyfin is a pre-made logo selling service, which I've been having a lot of them throughout the years. I actually started the first one like 6 years ago, almost when I first started it myself, because I felt like it was something that was missing, or something that I felt that I myself as a designer could really use, and other designers too. So I started it, and it was really, this was 6 years ago. It was I can't even remember what it was called, but it was super bad. But it did actually go surprisingly well for me at the time. So I kind of figured that there were definitely a market for it, and definitely for designers, and for people who wanted a high quality logo within a few seconds. So, and it got kind of put on hold, and then last year, February 2020, I started Anyfin. And the thing is that there obviously are a few pre-made logo selling websites already, but I think that the ones that did exist were kind of focusing a lot on just producing a lot of things rather than quality, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I just didn't feel like I feel like both the designer and the one who purchased designs were kind of, it wasn't the best for either part. So I wanted to make something where, you know, the designers were like, the things that were uploaded were handpicked, and they're like, it wasn't the main goal wasn't to, you know, make money. It was to upload good logos and to good clients,
Mm-hmm.
I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's what we did, and it went really good. And I ran it for, what is it, 16 months or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say like close to like a year and a half.
Yeah. And it's still going, as mentioned. I'm just not a part of it. And I still think it's a heavily underrated marketplace, and there's just been, I think it's closing up to like 200 or 100, something like that, logos sold now. And there's just so many awesome entrepreneurs and creators and just everyday people who have gotten a logo made from some of the best designers in the game. In seconds, and it's perfect for them and it's perfect for designers. So
Mm-hmm. So you obviously, did you employ or contract a team of designers underneath, or was there like a system for like through the website that the designers could sign up?
yeah, we've changed it a bit throughout the years, but it was designers who or at first we like kind of handpick designers who we thought were, you know, some of the best in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And then they could or upload their logos there. Then we changed it so that any designer could submit a logo, but like we'd only like 1 out of 10 would get approved. So that way everyone had the same chance, but we were still kind of quick on what went up.
Mm-hmm.
So we could also you know, check so it wasn't stolen or anything like that. We wanted to make sure that the logo was, you know, obviously unique and good and everything like that. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's how we have it still right now.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so they're just handpicked designers that agree to. Is it like a once you handpick them, are they on like a were they on like a contract with the company, or was it with like a was it like a make logos, and if you want to have them on the website, go through us and you have permission to, like, you know, like you have first come first serve type of thing?
Yeah, it was like that at the start, but now you like anyone, whoever you are, could upload a design. And yeah, we have a team of people with me or 2 other guys who'd go through them and kind of sell them and decide whether or not they'd qualify for the website. And if they did, it would get up on the website and get sold. And yeah.
Mm-hmm. So a lot of the designers that would be listening right now that are mainly branding, they're wondering about what would go to the designer, like what would the split be if there was a split profit wise. So first question, could the designers set their price for the logo, or was that determined by the website or by the Anyfin team?
Yeah, no, that was completely decided by the designer. We kind of mixed around with having a minimum price of yeah, it kind of changed, but I think right now it's like $200 or something. But yeah, other than that, the designer could decide.
Okay, and did the designer get 100% of that, or was there a cut towards the website?
Yeah, once again, we kind of mixed around with a lot of different stuff. So at first it was 85% to the designer, and then we kind of swapped to 100% to the designer. And we had like that for quite some time. And now, most recently, we have a system where anyone can apply for free and then get a 70% cut, or they can pay $5 with their submission, and then if it gets approved, they'll get 100%.
Oh, okay.
So everyone can apply for free. But if you like really feel like it's a banger, then you can pay to make sure it'll get 100%.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. That's actually a good system. That's a good system. I like how that works, because a lot of it was, with pre-mades. Like I know some websites were like 50-50, like to the designer and to the website, and it's like, okay, well, like from a designer standpoint, if you don't mark that up, if you don't mark that up 50% from your original price, you're not going to make anything, so it's like you're not going to make anything worthwhile. Because let's say the minimum price is a $50 logo, and you put the logo up for $50, and let's say that's your price, you only get $25 if you sell it, and it's like, there goes the majority of your work, there goes the majority of your effort, so like when it comes to how you have it laid out, or you had it laid out, I guess going into it, what made you leave the management team on anything then?
Well, there's lots of reasons, really. I actually have a few things coming up later this year, which will take up like 150% of my time. So I really have no time. That's really the only reason. Otherwise, I probably still would have run it, because, as I mentioned earlier, I think it's a really cool concept, and I think it'll grow. The guy who's handling it now is doing very well. So
awesome.
I'm following it with joy.
So are you like do you still have a share in it, or is it completely out of your hands?
It's kind of a transition process. I had 50%, but it will be 0 after next year.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, you don't like. I think some designers, not all, some designers are so caught up in working for someone rather than thinking of an idea and creating something themselves, like you did. You saw a problem, you're like, hey, I want to make this, so I'm gonna make it, rather than you know what, whatever, let me just work for a branding company and maybe that'll solve the problem, right? I think a lot of designers are like you see it on Twitter. They're posting practice work for this organization, that organization, this other organization, and sometimes they don't post work because they want to do it. They post work because they think the organization is going to see it and hire them. Like I mean, it's a double-edged sword, because if you don't have, like, sometimes you got to create that type of work to gain a freelance following if you want to go freelance, and then, obviously then it's there, but it's also developing your own personality and your own design brand as well. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. I know I've designed work for organizations just because I think, it would get seen.
Yeah.
Once I hit like midway through college, I was like, I think I'm just going to do this stuff. If it is for an organization, I'm just going to do it because I want to do it, and not because, dang, I'm going to do this design for PSG, even though I may not like PSG, but they're a huge organization. Maybe they'll retweet it, or maybe they'll like it, Granted, there's always a piece of that when you design work, but I feel like self-driven work has so much thought and so much value to it, that, hey, I did this project for me and me only, and it turned out freaking insane,
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like I've done a lot of that stuff, and almost everything has completely flopped. But I feel like you have to kind of think that that's fine, and just keep trying. And if you do like really find something interesting, you should just act on it immediately and think afterwards, I guess. I've done a lot of weird projects, which I'm surprised I still have friends on Twitter after some things, but yeah.
I think we all have that thought every once in a while.
Yeah, hopefully.
So the last thing I do want to talk about is freelance mainly. This is long like as well as like that football topic we talked on a little bit earlier in the podcast. Freelance is a big topic I try to bring up with different designers because it seems like everyone has a different opinion of freelance. So when it comes to freelance, do you work primarily freelance or are you more along the lines of getting hired by someone? What's your opinion on that?
I think it, like for me personally, I prefer freelance, but there's really no right or wrong answer. I prefer working with directly with clients and kind of talking with them and understanding them. And I feel like there's a lot of kind of marketing and psychology within that as well, which I personally find very interesting. So I feel like it fits me quite well to work more direct with persons, and so yeah. But I get both sides.
Yeah. Okay. See, I like that short and sweet, right to the point. Personally, I love freelance. I think freelance is awesome. Again, going back to like developing your own brand and figuring out how you work personally as a designer, that's a perfect avenue to really figure that out. I've been freelancing for like 4 years now, and I don't think if I freelanced I wouldn't be in the situation where I am now, because that's where you really are able to figure out how your process works, especially under pressure. Like, yeah, you can do that on the side for personal work, but once there's money involved and you're like, okay, I need to get this done or else I'm not getting paid, then it completely changes the rationale of everything, completely changes the environment, and now you're like, okay, how do I work under pressure? Let's find out.
Yeah, definitely. And my own process, as mentioned earlier, has changed so much, and it keeps changing almost every day. So it's just about in the long game, and doing what you love, and yeah.
Well, I mean, this has been awesome. It was awesome finally meeting you face to face. I know we've been connected on Twitter for a while now, it seems. So it was awesome having you on. I know it's late for you, and what time is it now for you?
11:30.
Yeah, so it's getting there for you. I do apologize for catching you later, but
no, it's just fun.
I also appreciate it for you being willing to stay up for this. This is awesome. But yeah, so it was awesome having you on, guys. All of Fabian's links, I guess. If you want anything else other than your Twitter, I can just put your Twitter down there, or if you want anything else, you can message me after, or however you want that to work. I can put whatever you want down in the description of the podcast so people can connect with you, especially if they either need feedback on logos or, maybe have some questions for you about the process of everything, or just want to go for you for, as a client, get you to do work for them. So yeah, all of Fabian's links will be down below. Make sure to connect with this man. And yeah, thank you for coming out today. Listen to episode 6 of Creative Process. Fabian, again, I really appreciate you coming on. It was awesome to hear your insight on branding and process and freelance and everything like that. It was awesome having you on. And yeah, this has been episode 6 of Creative Process. I will see you guys next week for episode 7. All right, take it easy. Have a great rest of your